Destiny Rising has been taking me by surprise ever since its launch late last month. I went in expecting very little of this MMO-lite gacha Destiny spin-off from NetEase, a company with a penchant for excessive microtransactions. Instead, I was met with a mobile game so good that I almost bought a controller accessory to play it with. Destiny Rising is not canon to Bungie's Destiny, and while the story is perfectly serviceable, you are a fabled lightbringer named Wolf who is destined to save the world against the Fallen, blah blah, typical story stuff here. There's nothing here akin to some of the best narrative beats in Destiny 2. The voice acting work isn't outstanding, and there are definitely still some AI placeholder performances in the mix. However, some of the story set pieces are very impressive, especially for a mobile game. I played it on my laptop via a third-party emulator, and while it made my machine run pretty hot, I was taken aback by the overall visual quality. Obviously, we're not going to get the quality of a game like Destiny 2 running at max graphics, but again, for the purposes of providing you with a visually interesting world to explore while defeating hordes of enemies, Rising nails it. On top of all of this, the movement and gunplay is absolutely stellar considering it's a mobile game first and foremost. Guns are impactful and have decent sound design, and the movement abilities of the various characters feel fun to use. I'll dive a little more into this below, but firstly, we need to talk gacha.
Get the gacha out the way.
Destiny Rising is a gacha game. It experiments very little with the established formula, and while we've seen other studios start to reconsider how gacha mechanics operate, Hero Games' pan-studio dev of Duet Night Abyss has removed gacha entirely from the game. NetEase has kept things extremely simple for Rising. You earn charms by completing story missions, challenges, and events. These charms can then be used to roll on a 5-star banner or a limited time banner. The limited character is obviously the most powerful in the game, and while I haven't managed to roll her yet, I have gotten close. I've managed to pick up 2 of the standard 5-star characters from just using the resources I've earned by playing. I haven't purchased any excessive bundles or currency, having only bought the basic battle pass, as I imagine this is the sort of game that will capture attention relentlessly for a couple of months before the next thing comes around.
Actual gameplay mechanics.
You spend a lot of your time in Rising completing relatively basic tasks, at least as you're leveling up and advancing through early parts of the campaign. These games tend to have massive difficulty spikes the further you progress, mostly to tempt people into spending more money. So far though, I've enjoyed the variety of things you can do in the game. There are roguelike singularities with upgrades and curses, a very casual deck-building game, and loads of PvP action to dig into, to name just a few. I'll touch on PvP first, as this took me by surprise. There's a casual mode called Control, where all character levels, weapons, talents, artifacts, and any other way to upgrade your character are all normalized. Everyone is on the same playing field, no matter how much time or money you've spent on the game. This provides a fair and competitive match, and I've had so much fun in this mode. The Shifting Gates, another PvP mode, has better rewards, but character levels, artifacts, etc. all count towards power level. This means it's inherently pay to win, but it's still a good time, especially if you've got some friends to squad up with on an even level of progression. It plays out like a bit of an extraction shooter, where you collect tokens and deposit them throughout the match. The team with the most tokens collected at the end will win. I've actually spent most of my time playing the card game. The Shadow Shaper Duels is a very casual deck-building affair where you try to stack more power than your opponent. You can collect cards by converting your tokens at the card shop or by defeating NPCs. It takes quite a while to level up your dueling skills, so you might often come up against people who've just been playing it non-stop and have way more powerful cards than you. It'd be great to see more unique ways of acquiring cards introduced to the game, maybe even as a drop from a mob to inspire a bit more of that MMO feeling. Gunplay, movement, and characters. While that gives you an overview of the tasks you complete, i.e. to progress your characters further, I've also got to say that the gunplay and movement in Destiny Rising are also surprisingly good. I haven't run into any spongy enemies that take an age to defeat, which is often an issue in other looter shooters. Playable characters have a diverse set of abilities and multiple ways to build them, with different artifacts providing boosts to damage or movement, healing, or other attributes. Because of the elemental system, each character has their specific elemental type, whether that's solar, void, or arc. You'll need to level up multiple characters to complete different types of content. I've been running Tan 2, as well as Ikara and Adel. Enemies will have weaknesses against different damage types, which makes completing endgame content much harder if you haven't been focusing on leveling up multiple characters. Destiny Rising is much more of a game than I was expecting. I thought it little more than an enjoyable FPS gacha romp, but I found myself logging in just to play a few rounds of Shadow Shaper or catch up with my clan. I'm not sure yet how long Rising will hold my attention, but for now, I'm struggling to pull myself away.